Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike from Door and Lock Tips. And today we're going to be installing the CompX Regulator lock. So it's an electronic cabinet smart lock. Now all these are. They're all electronic smart locks, including this kit lock. But now we're getting into a little better grade of electronic cabinet locks. We're getting up to the almost up to the quality of this beautiful little micro IQ. I mean, that's still number one, okay? But we're getting close. So this is a lock that you're going to find on a lot of hospitals and institutions all over the place. So we're going to install it in place of this kit lock. I got to get this out of my sight. You know, that lock is what you would be replacing all the time anyway. So the cool thing about the kit lock is, if you notice, it's the same layout. Good thing I didn't wreck my drawer. But, you know, I had planned for that. I kind of knew this was the same layout, so I'm going to show you how to replace a kit lock with a regulator, basically. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tear it all apart. I can't wait to get inside this thing and show you guys what it's made of, right? Because locksmiths love to look inside these things and take them apart. Because, you know, that's what we do. We like to tear into stuff. I guess that's the smith in locksmith. The only problem that I'm going to have is going to be these little blades. The one that was on the kit lock is a little different size, guys. Look at this. So here's the kit lock, and this one's longer. So if I cut it, which you could normally do, I could cut it, but I'm going to get into that little hole. And they made this hole so you can put these little plastic things in. That's a bad strike. You don't want to use them things. So I'm going to have a little bit of trouble with the strike, but all in all, this is going to go right in. And then you get to see how it looks and a little different fashion of how I normally do just a straight install. So you get to see what a locksmith goes through trying to change out a lock. So these are all from Amazon. It's that grouping of 6 locks. And the cool thing about Amazon, guys, if you don't like these things, I mean, if you haven't, you know, really messed them up and you're within their time frame, you put it on, you don't like it, you can send the thing back. So that's really cool, right? And in a locksmith supply house, you know, sending stuff back has never been easy. Okay, try it with some of your suppliers. I mean, usually you have to buy another lock and then send the original back before you get any credit. They check it all out and they tell you, no, it's a good lock. So you're kind of stuck with it. Whereas Amazon, it's pretty easy. You just say, I don't like it, right? Or it wasn't what you thought. And you can send it right back. That's cool. I like Amazon. And in the world of buying locks, Amazon's probably the way of the future. So, you know, 9 days, I can't argue with 9 days. So this lock is about, right now it's $149. So see, we're getting up there. And it goes in locker mode and station mode. So that's cool. That's the standard theme of these locks. It does not have a fob. I mean, Tritech's ruling, right? Micro IQ rules. That's everywhere in hospitals. So that little lock, this little jewel, is on all the med carts. So if you ever have a chance to get in a hospital, look around at the med carts. And that baby is there. This is not on a med cart. Sorry, it won't be. There's a weight problem. So we'll get into that. So please stay tuned here, and we're going to go install that bad boy and then take this thing apart, and we're going to look at the software and these green stickers that'll drive you out of your mind, and how I had to change the size of the blade and see what a locksmith goes through. So stay tuned. I had to go out to the truck, and I have a lot of these different flavors from CompX, and I'm not using that one. Look at where it's landed. So this is the original size from that kit lock. And I need to make the same size because I want it to go in the same location. So look at, I'm going to get this little cutout there for these little black things. So I went out and I got one that didn't have that. So now I'm going to take a cutoff saw, right? And I'm going to cut it off close by and then close to the mark, right, with my little magic marker. And then I'm going to grind it. I wish I didn't have to do all this, but, you know, it's custom install. Stay tuned. All right, so grinder and cutoff saw to the rescue. And you don't want any burrs on this. And it came out really nice. So it's the same size now. Not quite factory, but close enough. And this will go now in place of this one that came in the box with that stupid hole there. Hooray for me. Okay, guys, so we're at the drawer. Now, how do we install a previously drilled hole? You know, this is kind of a dilemma, right? Because if you've lost your center point, so if you try to drill this, it'll go all over the place, and really you don't have that much room to go crazy on the face here. If you get crazy wallering that out, it will show. Well, easy solution. All you do is take a step drill, and you just stick this bad boy in, and you can't go too far. You just go far enough for it to allow this drill to go in. And once this is in, so this is 3/4, you just go to the 3/4 step. Now you can get these at Lowe's and Home Depot. These are your common electrician step drill. Now this is cobalt, so I highly suggest buying cobalt. It's the way to fly. Anyway, and now with that extra size, this will go right in. And that screw's laid out perfect. So we're going to go ahead and drill this. Okay, now it won't go all over the place because it's going to go right in there. See, now it's the center is no longer needed. You just need the outside diameter. Quite simply, you're in. Now, I have noticed if you go crooked, right, the barrel of this lock, when you put it in, if you're crooked, which it's possible, but I am not quite, I'm going to go a little bit in and out, get that true size there. There we go. But if you're crooked, this will not lay flat. So, you know, it's kind of very important not to be crooked because it'll tip like that. And I've seen that on the installs. So there we have it. That's basically installed in place of that kit lock now. And I'll go ahead and find that screw location. And let's pull this battery. Uh-oh. That little red thing. You got to push enter. That's an extra step, by the way. But it seems to be working. Sometimes those have not isolated the battery in shipping, and these things will come in corroded. So if you're, you know, storing a lot of these locks ahead before install, make sure, you know, you take all the batteries out, because in a year they'll start corroding just from the factory. Oh, a side point, you better use your beautiful Tri-Flow and lubricate this spot right here. They stopped putting brass in there, and lubricate that. Lubricate the threads on the barrel, and go ahead and lubricate right in here. Very gingerly though. That's too much. I'll have to wipe that out. But Tri-Flow to the rescue. This'll make your install work. And then when you put your little fastening screw for the blade, put Loctite on that. So I have it all installed, but I left the strike in the same location. Now that just isn't cool. You've got to change the strike location, guys. See it? It's got to go back. Don't don't just leave that. I mean, that's terrible. I've seen that situation because guys don't want to go through the trouble of doing that, changing the location. Change the location, please. So I have a jig that, this is the latch strike. So I just mounted it on a piece of wood. I mean, I've had this so long. And you can put these little teeny screws in and move this. This is my stopper. So, you know, I get it in the right location, and then I just hold this underneath, and then I can mark the latch strike, because it's got to go back considerably. And please don't bend your latch strikes or bend that little blade on the lock. It just makes for a crummy install. Do everything professional, and it shows, guys. You know, sometimes professional good work just takes a while for people to notice how nice it is. But move everything and resist the temptation to bend parts. Okay, I relocated the strike, and see that little cutout? That's needed so you have clearance so you can get the drawer back in. So I showed this in another video, video 6. So go ahead and relocate the strike, resist bending it, and let's just see if it works. Oh yeah, I like that. That's good. So we got a good install. I don't have to look at that kit lock anymore, and I much rather look at a regulator. At least there's something there that actually works. Okay, now we're going to do the tear down. Get ready. Well, this lock went in real nice. It's going to be a nice little addition to the shop. And I'm used to these locks. I've seen them everywhere, installed quite a few of them. It's just yesterday's lock, that's all. Make sure you change the strike locations. Don't bend those strikes. You'll be much happier. And your client will love you for it. Okay, let's get back to the video. Okay, everybody, we've got the lock off. And, you know, it's a heavy lock, I will tell you that. So we're going to look inside of this. You have a reset codes, all these stickers. Get ready to make a book, because if you lose the code, any of these codes that are in this lock, because you can put quite a few codes in here, and you don't have the reset code, you're pretty much up a crick. So I put one of these inside the drawer. I put one in a notebook, and I write the numbers on this one, and I stick it to the back. That way, if they ever take the lock off, they'll know the reset code because I wrote it on the back. I have one in a notebook, because if you put in lots and lots of these, you're going to need these codes. And then you have to write locations. This is a plague. It actually is a plague. Now, CompX is not going to change this. This has been their way. They have it on all their locks. I don't care what you deal with. But Tritech, they use this beauty. So this is their control fob. And if you enroll a control fob into their lock, you don't need these lousy reset green stickers. I mean, they will drive you out of your mind. And then if you lose them, or you don't keep good records, because, you know, on my phone, I have an app that I use. Let me just show it to you. It's right here. It's called Turbo Scan, and I just scan in all the reset numbers, and then I just keep them right on my phone, because you get a phone call out of the blue. Hey, we can't get in this lock. You don't have a fob? Say, okay, I can come over there. You know, you can make money actually from Tritech's idea here. If you're a locksmith and you get that phone call late at night, we got to get in a cabinet. You know, the security says this. Well, all you got to do is hop in your truck and drive over there and push this button, and you're in their lock. So this is a money maker. And you can have multiples of these on Tritech's lock. you know, their little micro IQ, because you know, you can keep one on site and you can keep one with you. And then you can just make money all day long just opening them up in an emergency. Whereas this thing, all right, if you don't have the green sticker, let me just show this to you. This is kind of very important. These stickers, I mean, you don't know how important it is with this regulator lock. I stick one inside the drawer. I stick one on the back. You know, I write it on this, I stick it on the back, and then I have it in my scanner. And if you don't, I've seen these just like thrown away and laying on the ground, and these guys stuck these in the cabinet. I have to literally throw these locks away. Without this green sticker, you're pretty much wasting this lock. So beware, locksmiths. You know, do good bookkeeping with the green sticker if you're going to use regulators. If you don't, they're going to rip this lock off and throw it away, just like I did many, many, many times when somebody else installed it. All right, so now let's tear this bad boy down. Oh, I want to talk about the software a little bit. All right, so it does locker mode and it does regular station mode. So station mode is this number, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have to push enter, and then you're in, right? And on the back side here, here's one of those magnets I'm talking about. It keeps it kind of stable over the surface. Probably, I don't know. It's an idea. But the lock is made out of steel right here. Have a little bit of plastic, which is not a bad thing, right? And, oh, there's the battery screw. So you better have a little star security screw to get that thing out. And so let's rip into this thing. Something they don't want you to do, but I just love getting into these locks. We're going to see what makes this thing tick. Stay tuned. All right, now when I take these locks apart, I always cut this little sticker right here. All right, I kind of don't want to rip this thing off. It's important. I do cover it over with the, you know, I write in the reset codes and everything, serial number. But I don't know. I always cut that. Now, you've got to put the blade back on. Otherwise, this barrel will all come apart and it's spring-loaded and everything. So I've learned the hard way. Just put the screw in, put the blade in. If it's self-latching, you want to put this together. And then the battery compartment. At this point, if you're going to take this apart, oh no, I've got the wrong star bit. Well, you want to take that battery compartment off. Stay tuned. Okay, I got the right bit now. All right, and I use these. You can buy these at Lowe's or Home Depot. I love them. They give me something to grab a hold of. They fit nicely in a toolbox. Now, here's the trick. Take the battery. Oh man, take the batteries out. Now watch this. If you put this on, you can take that all off in one piece. If you don't, they'll all fall apart. So let's look inside. This is so much fun. All right, there's the same idea. They got a pin that goes into the little lever, which won't allow it to turn. Let's check the tolerances out on this. You know, they're getting sloppier. This used to be twice as tight. Why does this happen? I can't believe it. All right, now, here comes the fun part. Now, this lock does not like to be taken apart this way, but we're going to do it anyway for the sake of you guys looking into this lock. So there's the battery compartment. Don't bend it too much. You'll snap them little soldering points off. Let's look in here. Oh, man. So there's the little motor. Now, I showed in another video how you can replace this motor with another one. From, you know, if these go bad, you just hang on to them because the motors never go bad. So this is called fish tape. This keeps the electronics from getting wrecked. So there's the electronics. When this corrodes, and it will, if you don't have this tape, this keeps interference also from the battery setup. But the corrosion will go into there. So don't throw that away. That's special anti-separation material. It's called fish tape. So there you have the insides. And see that little quick connect? You just yank that quick connect, put it, and pull your other motor out and stick it in place of this one. But I don't like that tolerance. Look at that doing that now. That never did that before. I would say, 2 years ago, this never had this play. And this part, I called up the factory. I said, hey, why did you quit making that in brass? Oh, the bean counters, I don't have control over that. So this used to all be nice brass, and it slid real nicely. But now it's not. So that's the insides of this bad boy. I'm going to put it back together, and we'll talk a bit more about this lock. So stay tuned. Okay, I have it back together. A couple little side points. The factory will sell these, and the screw will be not seated properly. It'll be up like that. And when you go to fasten this in on the cabinet, if these screws are sticking up, I've had countless screws sticking up. Yeah, it's just quality control. The screw will be out like that, and the whole lock doesn't set properly. This will be flat, and this will be away. So make sure you tighten the screws. That's all. Tighten them up. That's part of installing. Tighten those screws. And then when you put your screw in here from your cabinet, make sure you're centered. If you use too long of a screw here, you'll snap the case. It's made for a certain length of screw, and about that far in. If you go too far in, this will all snap off. A couple of little things I'm trying to warn you from when you use this CompX Regulator lock. Now let's talk a little about the manual. Okay, it's $149 on Amazon. Hey everybody, so the CompX Regulator lock, you got to see the inside and see the software. Very strong lock. Okay, this is commercial use, residential use. All right, this will go pretty much anywhere. It's got a nice keypad. You have some tactile feed there, so when you push on it, you can feel it. The handle's nice, strong. These basically don't wear out. The little barrel is very strong. Got to watch out for those screws. Pretty decent little lock. It's not worth that money on Amazon. You can shop this lock through your wholesalers and get a better price. Okay, just so you know, it's not worth more than maybe $65. That's all. And so this absurd price through Amazon, $149. I mean, that's today's price. That's, retail. Retail. So what's wrong with the lock? Well, I'll tell you. The powder coat wears off. A lot of people use this as a handle. The batteries fail. The lock corrodes, and you basically have to pitch it. Now, the biggest, I'd say number one biggest drawback, these green stickers. Most craziest thing I ever seen, okay? This is a ride you don't want to get on. I would much rather have one fob to handle all the locks in the whole facility to get in. I mean, you just walk up. You realize you can make money with this little blue control fob, okay, from Tritech. And this lock is extremely heavy. So, you know, that weight factor is a big deal in a lot of situations. So the day of this lock was about 10 years ago. So time to move on. Get something, you know, that's with our day and age. Okay, hands down, Tritech Micro IQ has won again. Easy lock to put on, high tech, and you can make money with a little fob. I can't tell you how important this is. You know, and maybe not the users, because these are a little pricey. I think they're $75. Don't quote me. I think they're $75, but I don't know. But one blue control fob handling this whole situation in the entire hospital or whatever institution you put them in versus all these green stickers. This is madness. Honestly, this is madness. But you know, some people like that. I'm not going to knock the lock. It's pretty good. Okay, pretty good. It's past its day. Oh, and no QR code. Come on, CompX. Get a QR code. I scan these things all the time. Now I got to go search this. You know, I do have apps though that cover this type of thing. There is a locksmith app that I mean, it covers all the manuals, but the CompX Regulator is not in it. So that's my thoughts for the day, you guys. I mean, you can buy it for about $65. That's all it's worth. And its day is over. It's not going to be at the bottom of the list. Nowhere near this thing. I mean, piece of junk. This kit lock and the Camby Cam. Don't even look at that thing. Don't even get close to it and investigate. That thing is junk. So our last two locks are coming. So please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends. Hit the like button. I mean, smash it, will you? And the bell lets you know all my videos coming your way. So I hope you like this. Please subscribe, you guys. And we'll have more from door and lock tips. Thank you.